Sisterhood is, in a way, a classical Moliere story whereby the central character is so obsessed with something, and in this case is so obsessed with the literary life of the city, that they end up making completely inappropriate decisions. In particular, marrying their daughters off to people that are completely inappropriate. In fact, they're charlatans. This version is by Ranjit Bolt, and it is an immaculate, sharp, witty, very funny translation of the original. It was originally commissioned and produced in London in '87, and it's riddled with references to that era and that period. It's a matriarchal household. She has all the money, which is very unusual for Moliere as well, and so she has all the power. And she's the one that decides what goes and what doesn't go in the household. There's references to Erica Jong and the fear of flying and that sort of agenda, feminist agenda, that was rife at the time. The husband is periphery to the action, and part of the humour and part of the joy of it is him trying to wrestle back some sort of control from his wife, who has spiralled completely out of control. When I was working with the designer, we had to try and find a space, which is a salon in the centre of Paris. And she came up with this image from the 80s of Karl Lagerfeld's Paris apartment, which has bookshelves from floor to ceiling, and they're all stacked in a very unique way, in the sense they're stacked like that. And this was a perfect image for this household, which has completely run by a mother obsessed with the literary and intellectual life of the city, to the extent that none of the servants are doing any of the jobs they're meant to be doing. They're in seminars and discussions about de Maupassant and things like that, so that you can't get the chauffeur to drive you anywhere. So we have a picture of a household that's run by books. We're dealing with Chanel and that sort of costuming from the era, because they're moneyed. As we speak, they're having fun up with the hairdresser doing Haiti's big hair for all the women. So we'll definitely get a flavour of that. I think the joy of coming along to this show, at least I hope it's going to be a joy, is to see one of the great pieces of European theatre done in a very contemporary, accessible way, releasing its comedy for modern audiences, and it should lift the spirits in this cold January.